Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. It's time once again to dive into the latest, juiciest, and most impactful developments surrounding your Dallas Cowboys. And let me tell you, this round of rumors and insider updates is absolutely buzzing. Straight from ESPN's top insiders, we've got major news about Tyler Smith's role, a potential cornerback signing that could shake up the secondary, growing intrigue around Luke Schoonmaker's future, and yes, real trade talks involving a member of the Cowboys' offensive line. This isn't just speculation anymore. The wheels are turning in Frisco, and the Cowboys front office seems poised to make some bold moves ahead of the preseason, all with their eyes set on a deep playoff run. There's a storm of strategic recalibration in the air, and if even half of what insiders are reporting turns out to be true, the makeup of this Cowboys roster could look very different, very soon. Buckle up, because we're breaking it all down. Starting with one of the most talked about names this offseason, Tyler Smith. If you've been following training camp buzz and insider scoops, then you know the Cowboys coaching staff has been absolutely glowing about Smith's development. According to ESPN's Todd Archer, there's growing confidence inside the building that Tyler Smith could not only anchor the left guard position but potentially be looked at as the long-term solution at left tackle, especially if Tyron Smith decides to call it a career after this season. That's a major revelation. We all know Tyler was drafted with versatility in mind, but what we're hearing now is more than just flexibility, it's leadership. Coaches are impressed with his maturity, work ethic, and physical dominance. The insider reports suggest that the Cowboys are internally discussing a scenario where Tyler becomes the keystone of the offensive line, a young stalwart who can protect Dak Prescott's blind side for the next decade. What's particularly interesting is that these discussions aren't based solely on potential. Smith is reportedly outperforming expectations in camp, handling pass rushers with calm efficiency and winning over position coaches with his cerebral approach to blocking schemes. His film study is off the charts, and the trust factor is through the roof. That kind of insider praise doesn't come lightly, and if this trend continues, don't be surprised if the Cowboys start planning a succession plan for Tyron Smith a lot sooner than expected. But Tyler Smith isn't the only name catching fire in the rumor mill. Let's shift gears to the secondary, where ESPN's Jeremy Fowler recently reported that the Cowboys are actively evaluating available veteran cornerbacks to add depth to a position group that, while talented, still has some lingering questions. Trayvon Diggs is obviously the headliner, and Darren Bland is coming off a breakout year, but the coaching staff reportedly has concerns about durability and experience depth, especially with Jordan Lewis returning from injury. According to the insider buzz, the Cowboys have had internal conversations about bringing in a seasoned veteran, someone who can step in if needed, but more importantly, provide mentorship to younger DBs. Names that have been floated in internal discussions include former Pro Bowlers who are still on the market. Think Casey Hayward, maybe even Marcus Peters, depending on the health reports. While no deal has been finalized yet, there's a strong sense that Dallas is looking to shore up the back end of its defense with a reliable, plug-and-play option. And here's the twist: this potential signing might not just be about insurance. There's talk that Dan Quinn is looking to expand his dime packages, and having an experienced CB who can slide into those sub-packages could unlock a new level of versatility in this defense. So if the Cowboys sign a veteran corner in the coming days, don't be surprised it's not a desperation move, it's strategic chess. And speaking of chess, there's a fascinating subplot unfolding with second-year tight end Luke Schoonmaker. The former Michigan product was a bit of a surprise pick for many fans last season, especially given the presence of Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot. But here's where things get interesting. ESPN insiders are now reporting that Schoonmaker is quietly turning heads in camp, not just with his blocking, but with a new sense of confidence as a pass catcher. According to sources close to the situation, Mike McCarthy has been giving him increased reps with the first team, and there's talk that the Cowboys may be planning a more significant offensive role for him this season. Schoonmaker has reportedly been one of the most consistent performers in red zone drills, using his 6'5" frame to box out defenders and become a reliable target for Dak. What's more, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is said to be drawing up more 12 personnel packages to take advantage of both Ferguson and Schoonmaker on the field together. This opens up a whole new layer to the Cowboys' offense. Imagine having two tight ends who can block like linemen but also release into the flat or attack the seam. It's a matchup nightmare, and Luke might just be the X factor the Cowboys didn't fully utilize last year. Expect more 2T looks, and don't be shocked if Schoonmaker starts seeing a serious uptick in targets come preseason games. Now, let's get to the part of the rumors that's raising eyebrows across the league: trade talks involving a Cowboys offensive lineman. You heard that right. Multiple ESPN insiders have confirmed that the Cowboys have received inquiries about some of their O-line depth, and one name that keeps popping up is Matt Waletzko. The 6'8" tackle has had a mixed bag of performances in camp, but his physical tools are undeniable. Teams looking for developmental tackles have reportedly reached out, and the Cowboys are said to be open to listening. Why? Because of the emergence of rookies and undrafted free agents who are flashing big-time potential. With Tyler Smith locking down guard, and the belief that Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele will hold the edges, there's suddenly a logjam of second-tier linemen who may not all make the 53-man roster. Trading someone like Waletzko, or potentially Josh Ball, could net the Cowboys a valuable mid-round draft pick or even a player-for-player swap, particularly in areas like linebacker or special teams where depth is needed. The key here is that the Cowboys aren't looking to offload talent, they're playing from a position of strength. If they move a lineman, it will be because they believe the return improves the roster elsewhere. It's a rare spot to be in for an NFL team, having too much depth on the O-line. But that's the situation Dallas finds itself in, and the front office seems intent on capitalizing. What ties all these rumors together is something deeper than just roster manipulation. It's about the Cowboys entering a critical moment of evolution. There's a feeling inside the star that this team isn't just playing for another NFC East title, they're going for it all. That means smart roster building, ruthless decision making, and the flexibility to adapt on the fly. Whether it's giving Tyler Smith the green light to become the next franchise tackle, bringing in a veteran cornerback to ensure playoff-caliber defense, expanding Luke Schoonmaker's role to maximize red zone efficiency, or flipping an offensive lineman for draft capital or defensive help, every move seems part of a larger, calculated push for sustained contention. And what's notable here is that these aren't panic moves. This isn't about reacting to injuries or desperation. It's about proactive planning, identifying market inefficiencies, and getting the absolute most out of every position on the depth chart. That's the kind of front office behavior you see from perennial contenders, not teams just hoping to make the playoffs. As we move through the remainder of training camp and into the preseason, keep a close eye on how these rumors develop. If the Cowboys do sign a veteran cornerback, it'll likely be within the next 2 weeks. If Luke Schoonmaker starts racking up first-team reps and gets red zone targets in the preseason games, that will be a clear sign he's about to become a bigger weapon in McCarthy's offense. And if a trade involving an offensive lineman happens, especially close to roster cutdowns, it means the Cowboys are playing the long game, strategically upgrading the roster while avoiding losing talent for nothing. And let's not forget about Tyler Smith. Every snap he takes, every practice rep, is being watched with the kind of scrutiny reserved for cornerstone players. If he continues on this upward trajectory, we may very well be witnessing the quiet emergence of a franchise-defining offensive lineman. So what does all this mean for fans? It means the 2025 Cowboys aren't just resting on their talent. They're making moves, they're challenging themselves to evolve, and they're building a roster that can take the punches of a 17-game season and still deliver in January. These insider reports aren't just about individual players, they're pieces of a bigger puzzle. A puzzle that, if put together correctly, could finally deliver what Cowboys fans have been craving for nearly 3 decades: a Super Bowl run that isn't just hype, but reality. Every signing, every trade, every rep at camp, it all matters. And the best part? We're just getting started. Make sure you're subscribed, Cowboys Nation, because if these insider rumors keep heating up like they are now, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Stay locked in, hit that like button if you're hyped for what this team is building, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think the Cowboys should sign at cornerback? Is Schoonmaker ready to break out? And would you trade one of our young O-linemen for depth at another position? Let's get the conversation going. This is the kind of football news we live for. Until next time, stay strong, stay proud, and as always, go Cowboys.